Good morning, learners. Once again, welcome to the exciting world of tourism and hospitality. Now, we are going to study the new presentation in which we are going to take up the managerial functions of a hotel. Before I proceed, what are the managerial functions of a hotel? Let us delve deep into the meaning of a hotel. Before planning, I will discuss what is a hotel. So, whenever tourist travels to a destination, we must understand who is a tourist first. We say tourist is traveling to a destination, but who is a tourist? A tourist is a person, according to UNWTO, tourist is a person who is traveling to a place for more than 24 hours and not for more than 24 hours, and that meaning that not less than a day. So, we are not more than 365 days. So, that means that the person, he will, when he's traveling for more than 24 hours, he will seek a place to stay. We may also call it sojourn. So basically, tourism has two components. One is travel and one is sojourn component. Sojourn means stay. So basically, when tourists travel to a destination, they also intend to stay in that destination. When we talk about staying, he wants to feel safe. He wants to feel comfortable. So that is why, he seeks an accommodation. It also is supposed to do with this, self-esteem need, your need of physiological safety, security, social needs, and socialization, self-socialization needs of given by Maslow's hierarchy theory. So there, the first physiological need of food, shelter is taken care by hotels, and then the kind of hotel you look forward to, that is also the safety and the security need, and then the social, the self-esteem needs, which are also adhered to by the hotel depending upon the kind of property you plan to stay. So basically, hotel, what is a hotel? Hotel is a place, we call it a home away from home. So tourist, when he visits a destination, he wants a place to stay, and he may opt for any kind of accommodation. Now accommodation could be a hotel, it could be a guest house, it could be bed and breakfast inn, it could be a stay in an apartment. So it could be any kind of arrangement. It could be a caravan, where you would be staying in a caravan. So it could be any kind of arrangement. This is depends upon how innovative stay he wants, and how comfortable he and his family is staying in a setup. So whether he wants to do camping. But now when we talk about the hospitality industry, hotel industry in particular, staying in hotels is first choice for many travelers, especially for the business travelers who are get going all the time, and who have limited span of time, and who want a hassle-free experience. Business travelers prefer staying in hotels, especially which are either near the airports or either in the city center, which are very comfortable for them to deal with their, to deal on day-to-day basis with their suppliers or their business partners. Likewise, leisure travelers also, especially people who don't want to who don't want to try new kind of accommodation, and for whom safety is a prime concern, and for whom they want everything to be taken care by someone else, and they don't want to be in the DIY zone, do it yourself zone. So for them, staying in hotels is a first choice. So hotel is basically a place which provides accommodation to the guest, lodging to the guest, and sometimes boarding also. Generally they provide boarding also, because the guests will stay there, then they would also expect the breakfast, lunch, dinner. So hotels may have different plans according to the need of the guest, like meal plans. So first is the European plan, where you only stay in the hotel, and only the room tariff is included, and no meal is included. Then we have CP plan, continental plan, in which you are staying in a hotel. You say I'm staying on a CP plan, means CPI means continental plan, all inclusive of the taxes also. So continental plan means you are staying in the hotel, you're paying for the room tariff as well as for the continental breakfast also. So then we have the American plan. If you're staying in an American plan in a hotel, it means that you're going to stay there paying for the, not only paying for the room tariff, but also you're going to get all your meals there, from breakfast to lunch to dinner. All your major meals will be served there. Then we have the modified American plan, MAP, where you have the you pay for the room tariff. Along with the room tariff, you either pay you pay for the breakfast. That includes your breakfast plus one major meal, that could be lunch or dinner depending upon your choice. Generally, the travelers prefer dinner because during the daytime they are out for sightseeing, so they prefer to have dinner in a relaxed way in the hotel. So people prefer MAP, also modified American plan. So we see there are different plans: European plan, continental plan, then we have American plan, modified American plan. Likewise, we also have jungle plan, Bermuda plan. So there are other plans also available. So coming back to hotel, it provides lodging, it provides accommodation. Hotels generally have common reception area where there is the front office. Then we have this lobby. Then we have good hotels which are full-fledged hotels with all the services. They would have the business centers also running with Wi-Fi services all the time. The convention center, they would have with the LCD projectors, public address system, facilities like swimming pool, and then the spa facilities, the gyms, multi-cuisine restaurants, open gyms, and they would also have play areas for kids, the crèche also, valet services, and name of anything. The big hotels, they have all kinds of facilities. We talk in terms of India, and we talk about Taj Hotel, we talk about ITC hotels. So Oberoi's are number one, we say, in terms of hospitality. They pamper the customer like anything. So these hotels they provide you the best of the service. So the tourists basically travel to the hotel, they go and stay in the hotel just to feel, not only to satisfy their basic need of shelter and fooding, but also or to feel safe there, the safety need, but also to feel have a self-esteem, to satisfy the self-esteem need by relaxing there, or by flaunting their status to friends that I'm staying in a 5-star hotel and I'm having the time of my life. So the kind of services, the fine dining they enjoy, and all of the valet services, and you're pampered for everything. So that is the concept of hotels. Now when we talk about hotels, there are different types of hotels. It could be on the basis of location, such as airport hotels, downtown hotels, resort hotels, motels which are basically on the highways. Then we could have the hotels on the basis of themes like spa hotels, heritage hotels, boutique hotels. Then we could have the hotels which could be on the basis of length of stay. It could be residential hotels, semi-residential hotels, transient hotels. Then we could also have there could be hotels on the types of meal plans, as I said, EP, MAP, CP, AP. So the classification of hotels can be also on the basis of the category, on the basis of the facilities and services that they offer, that is 4-star, 5-star, 3-star. So all these are different kinds of hotels. Now let us come to the functions of hotels. So the first function of hotel is planning. So planning is very, very important. It forms the edifice of any good business. We say stepping out of a home on a rainy day with an umbrella in a hand is the way I cover my risk against the uncertain but anticipated rain. It may or may not rain, but I am prepared. What does that mean? That planning, there's a saying that patience in planning and impatience in execution works wonders. Planning is very, very important. At every stage you have to plan, and planning is an ongoing process. It is not a one-shot activity that once you have planned and you have the building erected and the hotel is operational, the planning is over. Planning will always go on and on, because though the issues will keep changing, there would be operational issues of the hotel, the concepts, the basic goals of planning, objectives of planning may change, the strategies may change, but planning will always go on and on. It's an ongoing activity. So what is planning basically? It is setting of goals and objectives, and then developing policies, plans and strategies for the upcoming future. So you are deciding a course of action for the coming future. So it maybe if I want to start a hotel tomorrow, so the first thing I will plan is what kind of hotel property I want to launch, whether I want to launch my own individual hotel, or whether I want to take a franchisee of an existing hotel chain. That could be one thing. Then if that is one thought, then what type of hotels would I want it to be? A boutique hotel? Would I want it to be a spa hotel, or would I want it to be a business hotel or a leisure hotel? So what kind of clientele I would cater to? Would only focus on business clientele? Would I focus on youngsters? Would I focus on the upper middle class, or would I focus on middle class? So what kind of facilities I must have in my hotel, where I'm going to set up my hotel, which would be the best site to select? Should it be near the airport? Should it be in the city center? So what kind of clientele group, and how can I differentiate myself from other hotels? What could be my USP, unique selling proposition, what I'm offering that others are not offering? So these kind of plannings are very important. Like example, the Urban Pod has opened. That is the first hotel in Mumbai which has opened, and which is it's a capsule hotel, basically first capsule hotel in India. The concept has been taken from Japan. So this Urban Pod hotel, here the guests basically all technologically driven, and basically the business class travelers prefer staying mainly for overnight stay, because they are very compartmentalized and very small rooms, like capsule, you could say capsule rooms with common washrooms and all for the guests. But there is also a clientele. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to strategize on what exactly would be my business model, and then the planning starts eventually. The kind of hotel you want to open, for whom you want to open, why you want to open, where you want to, maybe 5 W's need to be addressed at the planning stage. So second stage is to decide about the goals and objectives. Once the target is fixed, your goal could be, maybe you want to be seen as the most sustainable hotel in the country, and besides the profit, obviously that is the major target. Or you want to be catering to the physically challenged or the people with special abilities. You want to be a specialist in that category of clientele. So targets could be anything. Once the target is fixed, then comes the stage of evolving appropriate strategies to achieve the target. In the process of planning, most important aspect is to evolve a mechanism of evaluation or feedback. Basically, you'll keep planning, but also it has to go side by side. Is evaluation is also very important, self-evaluation, and the feedback also from maybe your staff, from the guest, that needs to be taken. Through the process of evaluation, only the planners can get the needed feedback about the strength as well as the darkness of the existing setup, and can accordingly decide the future course of action. This calls for preparation of a business plan or project report. The objectives have to be realistic. In fact, planners of the hotel should keep their eyes on the following functions: determining the markets to serve, flow of capital, service and quality standards, operation and maintenance, personnel department, nature of competition, productivity and profitability, etc. Next managerial function of a hotel is organization. After planning comes organization. In hotel management, organization basically means developing an administrative structure for running the hotel. In doing this job, there are certain important issues which must be addressed. For example, at the time of creating departments, specialization should be the major criteria for dividing jobs. This should be done keeping in view the facilities and services to be provided by the hotel. What I mean to say is, organization is all about who reports to whom. It's about reporting relationships. it is about deciding the administrative structure of the organization of the hotel. So the reporting relationships have to be very clear, and there have to be departments in place, and the departments should be in such a way that people doing similar jobs should be clubbed together so that there is no confusion at all. So the facilities and services should also be taken care by while deciding the departmentalization and specialization of the people who would be divided. So that is one part of organization. With the creation of departments of supervision, resources need for the department and performance measures of hotel departments have to be decided. We need to allocate the resources. So that also happens during organization. Most vital is the delegation of decision making authority to the department. Who will take decisions for the customer? Who will be the final decision making authority? Generally, there are two models. Generally, one is centralization, one is decentralization. Decentralization is always better because otherwise there's a lot of time goes wasted when there's the decision making rests only with the one power. So decentralization is better model because here the customer benefits. Immediately you can take decisions. Like Ritz-Carlton Hotel says that to make an unhappy customer happy, the manager can immediately spend around $100 to make him happy. So that's one aspect that they are trying to make the customer happy, and he doesn't have to seek anyone's approval. So most vital is the delegation of decision making authority of the department. Recruitment of personnel at various departments is also important for attaining the desired goal. Then, depending on the size of the hotel and its operations, the chief executive of the hotel is designating as managing director, chairman, general manager. This will vary from hotel to hotel. The number of managers at various levels of functionaries is basically determined by the size as well as complexity in the activities of the hotel. For effective management, there should be clear definition of responsibility and authority and an effective coordination of related activities. As I said, you have to divide the activities on the basis of similar activities. You have to club them. Then they should all work in coordination with each other, and there should be clear delegation of authority. There have to be, proper responsibility fixed, accountability fixed, and also you have to give the authority also to the person to be able to do the task, and they have to be clearly defined relationships, reporting relationships. Generally, there is interdependency among various departments in the hotel, and often joint decision making is also needed. Keeping in mind this necessity is always advisable to have a coordination unit for better functioning. The various process required in operations management must be adhered in the hotel business. Now, next function comes is directing and control. It is equally important in hotel management to develop an effective leadership. See, it is the difference. They say there's a saying that if there is a good leader, if there is no good leader, the people will perish. So, if there is a good leader, everything will be taken care of. So, you need to have good leadership, and especially when we talk a hotel, when we talk about big chains, there are thousands of employees who are working under you. So, a good leadership is a must. Strategic planning and good organization on its own cannot ensure the desired result unless there is effective leadership to motivate the staff. The staff, see, this is a people's business. Continuously, you have to keep people happy so that they can keep your guest happy. So the first internal customer is your employee of the hotel, and then comes the later customer, the external customer. So the internal, if the internal customer is not happy, cannot keep the external customer happy. And how can you keep the internal customer happy? By giving him the right direction and by motivating him from time to time. Management's aim should be to develop a congenial working atmosphere and motivate the staff for service. These days, options like, there are a lot of family plans, or a day out with your family. You bring your family to the hotel parties, or give them incentives, give them a holiday off, and give them a stay in any of their hotels free of the cost with their family. So these are all the ways to motivate the staff of your hotel so that they can have a long-term association with you, and you do not face a high attrition rate, and the people do not leave you just for few pennies, few raise in the pennies. So such kind of motivation is very important for the employees, and such incentives are important, and this only effective leadership can understand. Instead of running the hotel with a strict approach, modern management suggests that participatory approach is better way to motivate employees for performing the job. Means that we have to involve every employee. Even the junior management should be also a part of the decision making, and every staff should be treated with equal respect. Be it the bellboy, be it the liftman, or be it anyone working the housekeeping staff. We have to, one of the best ways of motivation is to respect them, give them respect, understand their needs, and take care of their needs. And this depends a lot on the leadership style and behavior of the leader, and having a participatory approach and involving them in decision making shows your respect for the staff, and the staff also feels more loyal towards you and wants to work in a more productive way for your hotel. So employees' participation in decision making process of the management automatically makes the employee responsible for the performance. They become more accountable, that I am being asked, so I am also accountable to the organization. Development of an appropriate culture in the hotel, that is excellent customer service, respect for the dignity and rights of the employees, etc., makes an important identifiable mark in this profession. Along with direction, control is needed to ensure compliance of goal. Through control, the management has to take corrective action for a specific problem. See, planning, organizing, directing, they all will not be channelized unless until there is a continuous monitoring over these functions. So control acts as a monitor. It keeps monitoring and it keeps evaluating that whatever plans have been set, whatever strategies are being adopted, whatever reporting relationships and organization structure has been set up, whosoever is the leader who is taking care and directing the whole system, but everything is it in control, and everything is it in the direction of what we initially expected, what was on our basic plan that we wanted to achieve. Like maybe I wanted a business of 50 crore turnover after 5 years. Have we been able to achieve that? We need to review that. So the control is always very important, and then only you move other functions in direction to it. If things are not working, you get to have an insight if that things are working in the right direction or not. And then if they are not working, it's time to take corrective action. You have to inform the management, and as problems can be of complicated nature, and of different types, the management has to devise different control strategies to accomplish its goals. Now, next function is of finance. Financial management is defined as a process through which a hotel raises and allocates funds. So obviously finance is the most important and one very important factor, and we may divide the requirement of funds in hotels into two categories: short-term capital and long-term capital. As it is clear from the title itself, short-term capital is required for operating, and minor capital expenditure means day-to-day expenditures are done through this short-term capital, and long-term capital is required for acquiring lands, building, other fixed assets and all. The role of financial managers to select appropriate sources of funds and to decide the allocation of funds to realize the maximum gain. It is important for the financial manager to have update information about the market, economic policies, about the market of the government, the economic policies of the government, and the ability to anticipate changes in the economy. The role of financial management lies in raising funds and allocation of funds in such a way so that maximum return can be ensured. One way of doing this methodologically is to adopt a budgetary system. So budgets are in place for this, so that the management can always see what was allocated and how much is being spent on. So the one very important function is of management for hotels is marketing. Marketing is, you may have the finances, you may have brought the best hotel, and you may have done one of the best plannings and organization and everything. But if the people do not know that the product is there in the market, if it is not marketed well, if its unique selling proposition is not sold in a proper way, not marketed in a proper way. And today is an era of social media. So even in the electronic media, print media, they have also taken a backstage. So continuously you have to chase the customer, because there is too much of competition and there are too many other players in the market who are offering similar products like you. So you have to be a step forward, and for that marketing has to be vigorous. So it could be through this Instagram post, to posting stories, to Snapchats, to through Facebook, through having your social media accounts, and being very active, or product placement also. Like if one movie is shot in your hotel, and the people audience view, then next time they come and stay in your hotel. So these things, marketing plays a very, very important role. So marketing function in hotels, it was identifying, anticipating and satisfying customer needs and desires in order to achieve the overall objective of the business. We have to understand that marketing starts with identifying customer needs. So everything, right from identifying customer needs and then making the product, making the hotel according to the need of the customer. Like these days people want smart technologies, smart rooms, smart hotels. So that is the new concept. Or people want to stay in eco-friendly hotels. So the eco hotels have come up, like the Orchard Hotel in Mumbai. So that's what I'm saying, that marketing is very, very, you have to reach out to the public, and you have to tell what is your unique selling proposition, what is your USP, how are you different from others. And marketing, you have to identify the need of the customer, and accordingly you have to make your product, and then automatically it will sell. So you have to be vigorous in so in order to create awareness and to remind people that you are available in the market with a different product proposition. So marketing of hotel services may not be different from marketing of any other customer products, but there are certain specifications in marketing of hotel products. The principal hotel products are accommodations, restaurants, bars, and arrangement for conference and conventions. So demand for hotel products fluctuates from time to time, and the market also is very competitive. Maybe you could be selling your hotel, you could be marketing your hotel to the the MICE operators, so that tomorrow they come and organize a conference in your hotel. So for that you have to market your hotel very vigorously. So generally the hotels have a marketing team in place who are responsible for marketing the hotels to the various corporates, and to the leisure travelers also, or to the travel agencies basically, who in turn sell it to the clientele. Then starting from marketing research, which is from the edifice, for any foundation of marketing is its marketing research. The more you have researched, the better would be your product, and the better it would sell for itself. The product development, promotion of products, sale, monitoring and reviewing marketing can help the hotel in achieving its objectives. So we have to keep developing the product, and then promotion of the product is very important. Product has to develop keeping in mind the needs of the customer, need of the tourist, and then you have to promote it in different ways, as I said, through different mediums like social media and all. In order to run good business, it is necessary to think of the consumer needs in the planning, designing and subsequent operations of an hotel. These days hotels also organize festivals like wine festival and all. So people want to go there and enjoy the food, or they also are, many hotels are also encouraging staycations, so that you come and stay at the hotel during the weekends or during the long weekend and enjoy there and relax and have your me time there and pamper yourself. So that was all the game of marketing. So it is important for the functionaries in marketing to keep an eye on the changing socio-economic pattern and the customer profiles, promotional purposes. The big hotels are now using electronic media. A good networking with travel agents, tour operators, airlines, Department of Tourism is essential in hotel marketing. Obviously, because the ultimate business would come from the tour operators, travel agents, the airlines. Maybe the airline staff will stay in your hotel, or the travel agents and tour operators would sell your hotel, or the government delegates would come and stay in your hotel. So with maintaining a liaison with them is very, very important, and for that you have to keep marketing yourself With this, I would like to put an end to the marketing functions. And so we, through this slide, we have discussed all the functions of management of in the hotel, in the context of hotels, which we started planning, then organizing, then directing and controlling, and then we discussed financing, and then marketing. Thank you very much.